The number 9 myth is gun buyback programs. Gun buyback programs, that they work. People often talk about Australia, right? Hang on a second. Australia as an example of doing a gun buyback program and how that has lessened gun violence, things like that. A couple of things to remember, and guys, look, I'm not a scholar. I'm just giving you my opinion on these things. A lot of people forget that Australia is a very large continent that does not have a high number of people in a densely populated amount of space, unlike America, right? Like our urban centers are generally the hubs for a lot of our violence in terms of like gun violence. Most of the gun violence is relegated to places like Chicago, places like, New York City, Los Angeles, like large metropolitan areas that have people packed into densely populated locations. That's the general area where a lot of gun violence takes place. And then also, gun buyback programs, they only affect the people that are willing to give up those firearms. Like the people that are willing to commit crime, the people that are willing to involve themselves in nefarious activities, like they're not going to do a gun buyback program. They're not going to adhere with that, especially if it's mandated, because they already don't follow the law. They're already criminals, right? So it tends to only affect the good people, the people that are looking to potentially protect themselves legally. They want to stay on the right side of the law, so they participate in the gun buyback programs, and that only leaves the firearms in the hands of the people that are willing to do harm. Another situation with that is like if you look at England, like they have taken everything from handguns to rifles out of the hands of law-abiding citizens, and now you have this huge uptick in stabbings. They're talking about banning certain knives. They've already banned a lot of knives in England, but that hasn't stopped the criminal element from stabbing people. England is also looking to potentially ban certain types of animals. They're trying to ban pit bulls because there have been pit bull bitings, right? You can't ban your way out of violence, and you can't ban your way out of circumstances. So it doesn't work. That's a myth that people tend to point towards other areas that don't align with a lot of the problems that we have here in America. Also, those countries don't have the Second Amendment as a tenet of their Constitution. You have to remember that the Second Amendment is a right that is guaranteed to us via our Constitution. If we don't adhere to our Constitution, if we don't believe in our Constitution, if we don't uphold our Constitution, then what separates our country from other countries? Like that's a literal part